Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night time for another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
What is going on, people?
And before we do the intro, just real quick, I just want to bring up that we're still part of the Dorkening Podcast Network, as well as Dead of Winter Entertainment. And I also had to recently change up our T Public store. So if you go to the links down in the show notes, you can find the link to our T Public store, and if you want to support us, help pay for the programs that we use, you can go buy a shirt, buy a sticker or whatever, and show a little support. We'd appreciate that. But yeah, my old store got shut down. I don't want to talk about it.
That's not good.
I know. So I had to use a different email and create a new one. I promise I won't do what I did before. Anyways. So, Tony, would you like to introduce our very special guest?
Sure. We have director, writer, actress, I think a little bit of everything. Jennifer Stone.
Hello. Hi. How's everybody doing?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we have her on to promote a couple things. One of which still has Indiegogo up right now. And you're going to be starting filming on that very soon.
Yes, very, very soon. We this Thursday actually is when we start. I go pick up Eric Roberts from the airport. On Thursday, we're already going to start filming. Some other actors are going to come in. Then we pick up Eric on Thursday. Friday, and Saturday we'll be doing his big scenes. But yeah, I'm prepping right now for directing and acting.
In Birthday Bash.
In Birthday Bash, yes.
Right. And can you tell us a little bit about the story? Like, cause it's kind of hush hush. There isn't like a story on IMDb yet. So is there much you can say about it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is about pretty much like a group of guys that's in their mid 40s. He's about to have his 45th birthday, and they decide they want to relive some glory days and go back to the sorority that they grew up in to throw a hell of a party. So they go. And during the party, obviously, all hell breaks loose. I'll let you guys wait to actually watch the movie to figure out why and what happens. But this is a horror comedy, and the cast and the crew that we have attached to this so far is absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to see what we bring to fruition with this.
And just the picture for it, because I've seen it like everywhere, like on all this social media, like just a picture for it. Looks like every time I see it, it reminds me of that one short from Creepshow, which was like Happy Birthday with the father, where he like comes back to life and he's got the head of whatever with the candles.
Totally. Yeah.
So when I look at it, it reminds me of that, but I'm just like, it's probably not going to be anything close. But I see it everywhere. It's like on my Instagram, on my Facebook, and everywhere I post it or like go on social media, I see it. So I'm like, I definitely can't wait for this movie.
Awesome. Well, marketing is my job, so that makes me feel good.
So that's working. And there's other images too. Like if you go to the IMDb, there is other like just really cool images. So
After this is our first week. We're splitting the filming up. So this, since the Indiegogo is up, you still will have a chance to be a part of it if you haven't already got a chance to be involved, because we have another film session that's going to be in July. And the next session in July is going to be highly into the all of the fun special effects and stuff. So if you're somebody that really just like loves to bop around to different films and get killed, now's your time to shine. We have that, and we'll make sure the link is available for you if you want to jump in on this. But after this week of filming, we're going to have an amazing little sneak peek trailer sent out for you.
Oh, nice, nice. So yeah, the link for the Indiegogo is in the show notes already. So like if you're watching and you go to the description and everything, it's already in there. Just open a new tab so that way you don't, but click on the link and you can go, and all the perks are in there, all the way down to like a thank you on like in the credit,
Yeah.
like a Blu-ray. Like,
Mhm.
you don't have to be in the movie, but you can still show some support
Yeah.
and fund cool art.
Because there's always people asking like, how do I get the foot like my foot in the door, and this is probably one of the best ways to do it. Get like a small cameo or whatever the
Mhm.
perks are in it. Maybe they're a little bit scared to start acting, but this will be like just the first steps into something. So
Yes, and there's quite a few actors in our films that started as like just their foot in the door Indiegogo actors that have been in a couple of things, and now I have 15-year relationships with some of them. I met Kellen, who is actually going to be the star of this movie. Kellen I'm sorry, I'm terrible with him. Kellen Dolly, I forget. I'm so sorry, Kellen. I love you. But he's such an amazing actor, and he had some a little bit smaller parts than our other ones, and we just had to have him as like a center of attention role. But he did start as a different Indiegogo actor, so it is a way to get your foot in the door for sure, especially if you have talent.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, and then I know other people that got their foot in the door, like starting to like produce, like in
Hmm.
like with Indiegogo and stuff like that. And then eventually it worked up to being like, okay, now they're a bigger part of things. They're directing now, and now they're acting and stuff too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is a way. It's a way to if you may not necessarily have like-minded like artists in your area, but
Yeah.
you want to work with some other people. Now this is a way to do it from afar, you know?
Yeah,
And
it's definitely. I love Indiegogo, and I love people. They'll talk down sometimes to the for the pay to play roles, but really you're just helping this be made. So not only are you getting an acting role and building your portfolio and getting experience that you didn't have before. I mean, how many sets have you really been on? Just seeing how everything works, and just if you actually really do like it, it's a way to be a part of something that you would have never got to do in the first place. And you might decide, you know what, I'm not very comfortable in front of the camera. I'm
right.
not an actress. I'm not an actor, but man, do I love helping build sets. Or maybe I really like to I like to be a PA. I want to be a script assist. There's so many different roles in filmmaking that people I don't think really understand, and they just love the excitement of it.
Oh yeah.
So this is something I think wonderful that I've seen so many of my new film family and friends be able to grow in that they just never thought they would be able to do.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to be on a few sets, like only like two, but it was very interesting. Like just
Mhm.
everything else besides what was going on in front of the camera,
Yeah.
which was very interesting, but everything else, like just how it all happened.
Yes,
Was
and then being
very
able to
interesting.
watch it all come together when the movie's actually
Yeah.
done, you're like, "Whoa, I saw that. That's not at all what it looked
Yeah.
like
Exactly. Yeah.
when I was watching it." But through watching it and through after the editing and the color correction and all of that fun stuff, it's just so amazing to see the process, especially if somebody's like is afraid of horror films.
Yeah.
Like my girlfriend here, she is scared of horror films, and she finally went and seen one of my movies, and I was like, look, when I have you on set and you're seeing it, and then we go in, you're not going to be scared. And it really does take. I'm not scared of anything anymore.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I'm watching the edit. I'm seeing how this. I'm still looking at the effects. I'm wondering if they were doing something practical or if they did this, and I'm watching the transitions and stuff. I'm absolutely ruined with movies. Um, in haunted houses, I really am the worst to go because I'm just like looking
Yeah, I'm the
at
same way. I'm the
the
same way.
mask
I'm the
and
same way. Like honestly, like, and that's if when a movie does finally get me, I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
that's. I'm like, congratulations. Like that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm the weirdo that's like laughs. I'm like, whoa, and
yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, that was awesome. But everybody else is like, ugh.
yeah.
But
When me and my wife, we like to go
man,
to
it's
haunted
awesome.
houses and stuff
This
too. And then like if someone does a really good like something like, oh, good work. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah, it's
wow.
but that's like a compliment. But I'm like, oh my god, or
Yeah,
laugh.
but I'm not
I'm
like
like, that's great.
jumping back scared or anything like that. Like
Yes, I'm
other
just like,
people are.
that's
I'm like, oh, that was
great.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but no, and it's weird. I mean, and I haven't made any movies or anything like that. I've only been on 2 sets, but like because we watch so many movies and we talk to so many people that make movies, I think it kind of almost ruins it a little bit. But
Yeah, it takes the magic a little bit out of it and kind of breaks it down. You see the process and stuff, but it opens a door to like new magic,
yeah,
like of the process and the art style of it. But yeah, it does take the sitting down and enjoying it part a little bit out. You got to watch it a couple times. You're like, okay, I watched it, I processed it, I saw what I did. Now let me watch it for entertainment.
and that's yeah, that's the thing. It must be difficult, but kudos for doing it for sure.
Yeah, that looks
I
fun.
mean,
Speaking of seeing new things, like since you have so many hats in the industry, I mean that's comes with indie
Yeah.
uh, films, like so many different hats. Which was your first? Did you start acting and then you're like, listen, I want to try something different, or like
Oh no,
did you?
no! I just jumped right in and did everything all at once.
Okay,
So this, let's see, how old am I? Carry the one. Anyways, so about oh my gosh, 21 years ago or so, my partner and I, Abel Berry, we're Stoneberry Films. We decided to make our first film. I bought him his first camera, and we had a buddy that owned a haunted house, and we had just made like a little music short little thing. We before this we were in a band, so we didn't know where we were going, but we were creating something. So he was like, "Hey, I saw your little short video or whatever. I just gotten a new my little Mac, got my iMovie editing software. Had put something together, and they were like, "Hey, you want to come film at the haunt house?" And it was not too far away from us, and that was our. We jumped in first feature, and we did everything. So we just jumped in special effects, acting, directing, writing, editing, and that was my first film that I edited.
look at that. I mean, some people it's like take baby steps. It's like no, let me just dump right into the deep end and see what happens. And look what it is now.
No, baby steps ain't for me. Apparently, we had the opportunity, and there was no question about it. Abel and I are like so passionate about creating and doing this that we just kind of just jumped in and we didn't even think about it. We weren't like, oh, you haven't done this before or anything. And that's where I have a disconnect with some of the people that are like, oh, I want to do this, but they keep waiting for opportunities instead of just creating their own. 20 years ago, I had to create my own opportunity. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't go to school for this. This is just a passion. And then that's where I got my experience. That's where I learned how to act. That's where I learned how to show my emotions on camera. That's where I learned how to edit, color correcting, this, that. I mean, every film is a stepping stone. And that's what we've done over the years with every film that we've done is just take it a little step higher.
Yeah, that's what Kevin always mentions. He's like, he loves watching the first film and then
Mm-hmm.
the progression as it goes because everybody's,
Yeah.
very few times where someone's like, oh, this is my first film. And we look at it and we're like, It looks
Looks
like you've been in the business for like 20 years. Most of the time, it's like
uh,
you have your bumps and bruises here and
uh-huh,
there. But as long as there's a progression going, then
uh-huh.
it's, you know, it's awesome to see where
Yeah,
you
but
start
see,
and then
that's
where
one
you
thing,
go.
like
Yeah,
almost
and
trying
the
to figure out what
budget's
they learned.
changed too.
Mm.
You
Oh,
know,
sorry, I talked.
that's okay. I was saying like it's almost like getting to figure out what they learned from the previous movie. You know.
Exactly, exactly. Well, and it's the learning thing and budgets kind of go up. Our first movie, I'm not. It's not. It doesn't even qualify as a micro budget because it was zero. I mean, it would probably be like $500 or something into it. I don't know if that counts, but that's what it was, and we completed an entire feature. So that's why I always say, like, if you want to do it, you'll do it. You can't just wait around for angel investor to hand you over $100,000 when you've not done anything. So I really always try to like push people and then give people opportunities to come and learn on our set.
Yeah. So you said that you did music before this.
Mhm.
Um, what was your first like? Was music your first passion, or was it something like? Did you grow up loving movies, or is it
Oh,
together?
I grew up loving horror films. So every Friday night, we would have a horror movie night with my mother and my mom's best friend, and we would go to Blockbuster and pick out all of the movies, and we'd make cheese dip or nachos or whatever, and we would just watch stuff like Pumpkinhead or I just like those the '80s practical effects type movies, Evil Dead. All of that stuff. Like I can't even tell you how many times I could probably quote that one entire movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would just the most random stuff. It did, if we hadn't watched it, it was coming home with us, and we were watching. I was way too young, and now watching things that I did watch and thought was like were great. I'm like, why was I watching this movie? But I mean, I turned out fine.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, it's almost like there's some people that I know definitely watch some stuff way too early. Like there's movies that I think I saw way too early, but
oh, yeah. What about Howard the Duck? I thought
Mm.
that was a child's movie. It
yeah,
was one of my favorite kids' movies. Like when I was like
you're like, oh, it's
9.
not a kids movie.
And I
Yeah,
we
don't talk
rewatched
about
it
it.
as an
Yeah,
adult, and I was like, I thought I was going to let my kid watch it. I put it on, and as soon as it started, I was like, go away, nope, nope. And I was like, I had to turn this off, and I was like, goodness, mom, why? Well,
Yeah,
I
the
watched
first
this.
what, like 4 minutes, there was a new duck scene. I'm
I
like,
was
what?
like,
What is
there's like
this?
bestiality in
I
here,
totally
all
forgot
kinds
about
of
that.
stuff.
I
Yeah,
totally forgot about the new duck scene.
yeah.
That was like 4 minutes in before we even got sucked
It
through
just
the.
starts with a bang. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Like growing up, I mean, there was
Yeah.
other ones like Hellraiser. I watched that movie
Um,
way too young, and then
yeah.
I
I
was
think it
watching Hillary.
scarred me. I think it scarred me for life because I watch it and I'm just like I mean, all it is like torture porn, and I'm like, I think I watched it when I was like 8. I'm like, what am I
I don't know
watching?
what's happening here. I'm
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
Yeah, I better watch this again and again.
Mm. Now, because you said you did some music, uh, writing a movie and writing music, is it almost the same thing?
Well, it's funny because Abel, we were also in the band together.
Mm.
So we wrote together and created that. So I didn't really know how to play an instruments whenever we first started. Abel is actually the musician.
Okay.
I've always been into the acting and stuff like that. And then we just kind of fell into that thing. So it's like our creativities kind of merged because he's always been into horror films too, but he's a music guy, which he is the one that also creates most of the scores for our films
Nice.
too. So our creativity just kind of merged together. But as we were progressing into the filmmaking with that opportunity, the practicing and stuff, the music kind of pulled back, and we really were just like, okay, we're gonna have to focus on one thing. We can't be full-on musicians and filmmakers. There's especially filmmakers that wear every dang hat that they possibly can. So we picked a lane,
Gotcha.
and uh,
Because it's one of those things too. It's like writing a song is like almost like a plot to a movie. Sometimes you listen to a song and you're like, I think I
yeah.
could. That would make a pretty cool movie at that point in time. So is it like not a seamless progression, but it's like almost the same thing when you're, you know.
Yeah, well, I feel like creativity and art, it all kind of goes hand in hand. Like you're always painting a picture, you're doing something. You do that with words, you do that with music, or actual painting. You're always trying to, you know, show somebody something, whether it be with lyrics or a story or vibrant colors on a canvas. It's all you still there to entertain.
True.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're having these same little
Yeah.
problems.
And having computer problems.
Oh no.
It's driving me crazy.
Because last week was the first time. Usually it's like all of us, so like everybody else would something happen, and then Kevin's now getting the problem.
I apologize, but yeah, I may cut out here and there. I apologize.
That
But anyway,
there's always technical difficulties.
I know.
With any type of
driving me
video
crazy.
or anything. If there's not technical difficulties, I'm gonna pinch myself.
But the thing is that like I thought last week I thought it was the program, but it's not. It's my computer. I can tell you I know it's my computer because it's switching from like Ethernet to Wi-Fi and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
So
That ain't good.
So the story for Birthday Bash, where did that come from?
So we have a process whenever we're starting our next film, and we kind of like we just write ideas like on a paper, and then we talk about it, and then do you know, like for me especially with ADHD, do you know how you just make up stories? And like, or somebody will do something stupid and you're like haha, and then you add to it and it just keeps
Yeah.
getting funnier and funnier.
Oh
That's
yeah.
kind of what we do. So we get a topic and we're like, okay, let's do this, and then we're like, but what if this happens, and then this happens, and this happens, and then so we just kind of did that with a couple of different of ideas, and this is really the one that was like, I like this, like we like this, let's do this. Plus, we're it just felt appropriate for the age that we're coming into too. It's just funny and something relatable for our group that we've grown with.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean it's something where like I don't know how old you are, but I think you're probably a little bit younger than me. But all of the people around our age group all do the same thing. They're all the same people that do the same thing with that stories, and they add to it and all this stuff. So yeah, they're all gonna like it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because everybody probably played telephone at one point in time.
Yeah.
Where it started from one story.
We all have to have imaginations, is what it was.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
By
it's
the
supposedly
by
it's a
the
mental condition, I've been told, but we were
it's
having more
imagination.
fun.
Yeah. We didn't
but we
have.
all played that where it was like it started at one thing and by the end it was completely something totally different. Then it's like, okay, what'd you hear? Okay, yeah, that was completely different.
That's how my wife and I got our name for our trivia team when we do trivia. It's Purple Monkey Dishwasher. It's from The Simpsons when they played telephone.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, and it was the message was exactly the same, except for at the end of it was Purple Monkey Dishwasher. We did it. But yeah, telephone. No, but that's cool. That's a good idea for writing, especially for people like myself that don't have the attention span sometimes to sit there and just be like, I'm doing this. Like,
yeah. I mean, like that's kind of how we do. Like, hey, we barely finish a sentence or something, and we're like, oh, and then we have all these scribbled notes, and then that's where it jump starts, and then we start the script.
That's cool.
And I'm sure that's where some of the best. I mean, I'm sure like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, one of my favorite movies of all time. That's probably how it's done. It's like, yeah, and clowns come from here, and they pop their nose, and they do this, and they do that.
Yeah.
Trying to explain that movie when I was younger to people, they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Yes, like it's like pulling something from everywhere, but it all comes together to into one
Yeah.
seamless thing. So
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, like, that's what Abel and I are known for with our movies. Just like all of these different things that come back together again. Because, I mean, yeah, you can totally see our ADHD in our filmmaking because we want more things going on, which brings me like to Dr. Gift. Our movie Dr. Gift, there's a bunch of different types of groups in there. There's witches, there's bikers, there's a a rocker band. There's all these different types of ghost hunters and stuff. So there's all these different types of people that generally wouldn't be hanging out in the same house, but we brought them together because they're all coming to stay at a bed and breakfast that these brothers have made. So this is the movie that is going to be coming out on VOD pretty soon, and we're in a small theatrical release right now. I just finished one of the screenings in Houston.
Nice. And where is it going? Many other places, or is it?
We have another screening, so it's had a Dallas premiere, and then an Arlington screening, and then we had a Houston screening. We had another screening set up in Georgia, but we're having to reschedule for that one. And then we have a Austin, and then there was one more, and I don't remember where it was going to be at.
Okay.
But since we are going to be going to VOD soon, probably these last couple of months will probably be the last time you'll be able to see it actually in theater.
Yeah, nothing out my way. I'm in Massachusetts.
Ah.
So yeah, I'm pretty far away from Texas.
Yeah, I know we have one outside. We have an outside of Texas, a couple of them, but I don't remember
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they're at right now.
talking about that movie too, Doctor Gift. I see a picture of Danielle Harris, a bloody. Well, I mean, you always see a bloody Danielle Harris, but
Yeah,
for this one,
yeah.
but
She'd
for
be
this
on the
one,
job.
it's like right
Wait a minute.
there. So
Wait a minute. Is she ever not bloody? I thought
that was gonna.
Oh.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, when is she not? But
Yeah.
for Doctor
Oh,
Gift, white shirt and all blood and stuff. So
oh yeah, yeah. So she got super bloody. I have that's one of my fave scenes, and well, I can't give anything away.
Okay.
I'm stumbling over my words here. I'm trying to retract.
Like,
There's a really
that's
cool
my
part
favorite.
there.
Forget about it. That's my favorite. Never mind.
Never mind. You'll
Yeah.
have to watch.
Out of my
so
accent. Out.
so going from you said your first like a $500 film to now working with some of the like quintessential horror icons and like Eric
Mhm.
Roberts and Brink and
Yeah.
Danielle Harris and stuff. How does
Yeah.
that progression work? Like, do they find out about your stuff? Do you reach out to them or like through
Um,
mutual people or?
um, you know, we had met Danielle at a convention years back when she had did something with called Chrome Skull.
Oh
Mm,
yeah.
yep.
Um, and he's not here anymore. But we had met them there, and we talked to her about it. And we were like, when we're ready, we'll reach out. So we always go to Texas Frightmare Weekend, and that kind of like back when we first started doing film, kind of introduced us to other filmmakers, and then just people that were at the convention, like Tony Todd as well. That's just how we met them.
He's
Um,
he's probably one of the nicest people I've ever got to like.
absolutely. We were.
Ended up getting a Candyman. I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but it's a bee with a hook for a
Uh-huh.
finger.
He was like so nice, and we'd met him a couple times at the conventions, and he'd come to our room and hang out and stuff. But we were going to put him in Birthday Bash this time, so we had a few people in mind. It was him, of course, Eric Roberts, and there was a couple other people we had in mind. And while we were talking to his agent, he passed away.
Yeah.
So it sucks that I really wanted him because we've kind of gotten to work with like a couple of the legends, like Michael Berryman. That was in one of our films, Midnight Devils, which is also actually still streaming right now
Mhm.
It's Tubi, Prime, wherever you want to do it. But um, so we were like, we got Michael Berryman, we have Daniel Harris, I want Candyman, like
Mm.
we were just kind of, placing one in each movie. Uh, but so it kind of sucks that we waited a little bit too long to get
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I got this tattoo, like, because I'd seen him at cons all the time. Like, he was such a
Mm-hmm.
sweet man, and like he remembered, like, I told him once at a con that me
Oh,
and my wife like to go to plays, and he remembered and invited me to a play when he was in Hartford.
uh-huh.
And,
Oh,
he was waiting.
that's so nice. Yeah, he,
Yeah,
he
he was
he has an
waiting for me.
amazing memory because every
He
time
was.
he would see us, Abel has really curly hair,
Mhm.
and he'd always call him Samuel L.
Oh yeah,
So
that's funny.
yeah,
But
he's
he
sweet.
was like waiting for me out in the lobby, and he wanted to do something after the play, and I was so nervous that I was going to ruin it, that I was like, I had to go to work in the morning, but I was like,
Uh-huh.
I'm
You're
like, if
like,
I
I mean,
go out
but you
with
just
you,
have to do it.
I'm gonna just no, I was like, I can't. Because I like, not to mention too, I would have made a fool of myself.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you're like,
Um,
I'm gonna leave on a good note.
exactly, exactly. But and I was like, oh, I can't wait to show him next time I see him, and then I didn't get the chance,
Oh
and like, but yeah, he made an impression on me when I
yeah.
was younger, seeing Candyman, and he made
Mhm.
an even bigger impression on me getting to know him as an adult, and just what a
Yeah.
nice guy he was.
Yeah,
But
super humble. I love that.
I'm glad you brought him up, though. I'm glad you brought him up because yeah, he was the man, and it would have been cool to see him in the movie for sure.
Yeah, I
But
know.
you got
I'm
some other great you got
definitely
some other
upset,
great cast
but
members. Yeah.
yeah. But very happy to be working with Eric Roberts.
Oh,
You know, Academy Award winner. He's great. And he's a great actor. So we're really excited. Actually, it made me a little bit nervous.
Mm.
And I don't usually get nervous, but um I actually think it's because of how much I just love his sister. And that's terrible. Like, but Julia Roberts is one of my favorites.
Mm.
So I don't know if that's what's making me nervous or what, because I wasn't nervous with Danielle or Michael Berryman or hanging out with Candyman or anything. Like I never got nervous, but for some reason, um, I was feeling a little nervous and kind of fangirly about Eric Roberts.
Yeah, that's it happens sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I think whenever we go to cons, if you over exaggerate, not over exaggerate, but go too, it's like sometimes they get back offish. So when I go, I just talk like a normal, like
Yeah.
I've known you for years, kind of deal. Except for
Mhm.
one, Joni Sweeten. I met her at one of the conventions, and I
Full
could
House.
not talk. From Full House, Stephanie from
Yeah,
Full House.
yeah.
I
You're
couldn't
like,
talk.
what?
It's
Nostalgia. It's
it's just
awesome.
it's weird because like literally like I walked up, my buddy had to speak for me, and he's like, yeah, he loves you. He loved Full House, and all I got out was like shaking my head yes, and I'm like in my head I'm like, what is wrong with me? Because I'm like I can talk, but I couldn't talk at the same
Right.
time. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? But that was a
It's so fun.
one person in my life that I was just like nothing. It's like, hey, okay.
Oh, I'm sure there's people out there that would get me for
I
sure,
just
but
I
I
just
was surprised.
not that long ago, because I go to cons, and I interview people a lot at cons, and I usually don't get nervous, and I got nervous for Dave Foley from Kids in the Hall,
Oh,
because Kids in the Hall, I mean,
yeah,
come on. And
yeah.
first time ever meeting him, and I was just like, I love you. I'm just like, I felt like I felt like
He's like,
I like what's his face? What am I forgetting his name? Chris Farley and
oh,
the Chris Farley show. Remember when you were in the Beatles? Like,
I love it.
like
Uh, I love Chris Farley, and I went and seen his brother's stand-up comedy,
oh,
and we got to hang out with him after the show,
I
and
heard mixed things about his stand up. Was it good?
it was good, and me and my girlfriend are such big Chris Farley fans
Yeah.
that just watching him was an experience
Yeah.
because all the mannerisms and the stuff and the way he landed on some of these jokes, I was just like, that's just like
Yeah,
it was
just
like
like
a
his brother.
skinnier Chris Farley.
Yeah. But it's I don't know. I mean, there's always going to be someone who's going to make you nervous. You'll be fine after like after the time when he'll be gone. You'll be like, what was I so nervous about?
Yeah, well, it's already died down a little bit, but yeah, at first I was just like getting anxious and stuff, and I was like, why? Why am I so anxious? But
But
It'll
then
be
you'll
back
then
to
you'll
the nerve pro.
you'll beat your nerves, and in your next movie, Julia Roberts is starring it.
I know I was like, so you guys do brunch? Am I invited, or
Yeah. Let's
invite Emma? Whatever,
just
whatever you
talk
guys want to
Brockovich.
do.
Let's just talk about the Brockovich or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Um, but yeah, no, that's cool. Is there any, like, that being said, I mean, besides Julia Roberts, is there any actor or actress that is a bucket list that you're like, this is my goal. I want to work with this person.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Oh my gosh. Why is my
Like
brain
in that,
blanking right now?
what about
Anna Joy. I would love, 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 love to work with her. Anna Joy. She has such a unique. The girl that played the Gambit.
I can't think. I know.
It's
I
like
know who you.
Anna
Yeah,
something Joy.
Sophia Joy, isn't
Huh?
it? Anna Sophia Joy,
I don't think that one's it,
maybe.
but
Hmm.
something. It's
I
close.
know. I know who you're talking about. It's just
I
not.
could. It could. It might not even be Anna. I could. That might be the wrong one. I don't know. Anna
Hmm.
something, Anna Lee Joy. I don't know, but it's horrible that I can't even think of her name right now. But she's one of my favorite actresses. She has such a awesome look to her, and she was the main character also in The Menu.
and Anja Taylor Joy?
And
That
yeah,
Taylor.
and Taylor Joy. There you go. Yeah.
Hmm.
That was Angel, by the way. Angel's in the chat. He's not on screen. He's in the chat.
He was another.
Angel. And he said brunch with Eric Roberts would be bananas.
Yeah. I know. That'd be awesome.
Maybe, that's technically you can have a little break at brunch time, and technically you can be like, hey, I had brunch with Eric Roberts.
I mean, I have been texting his wife, so you never know.
Oh, snap. I've actually heard like very good things
Yeah.
about him.
Me too.
Like,
And I think that calmed my nerves a lot too, because
yeah.
you just never know how somebody's going to be. If they're, are they going to be humble? Are they going to like, is he going to ruin my idea of the Roberts? Or, but I've heard amazing things. Like he
Yeah.
was really good to work with, that he's really humble. He's very nice. And
Yeah.
those are the things that I care about. So.
The guest we had on last week, he's had Eric Roberts in like a good handful of his movies,
Uh-huh.
and he's always had good things to say about him.
Yeah, yeah. A few of my filmmaker friends had really good things to say. Michael Berryman. I don't know.
He's a great man.
Most amazing.
I moderated a panel for him last summer at a con in upstate New York, and we didn't even really talk horror movies. We did like one or two stories about horror movies,
Animals.
and then I talked to him about living on the wolf sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most of the panel was about. Like I brought it up, and
he had the most amazing stories, like all the way back from like whenever he was in utero. Like we got stories of that, his family, the sanctuary, just animals. He is just a good dude. Like
Yep.
we were always real careful about people, and like we were trying to like seclude, like put him in a room by himself, and he just kept like coming out like, do I have to stay in here, like, and then we realized, we just didn't want you being bothered. And he was like, no, he was like, I'm bored back there. And I was like, well, come on out. And he just came out and he chatted with everybody and told us the most amazing stories, and it was a really good experience.
Yeah, he was great. Like in the con was at a casino, and like any chance he could, he was out there just like hanging out with the casino people and like the security.
After our premiere, because we flew him in for the premiere. Afterward, he's like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "Okay, party in the room." Like, so we got pizza, we got more beer, and we just threw a party. Like, I mean, he had more energy than I did. So he's a great guy.
And it's funny, we had Suze Lanier from The Hills Have Eyes on the show like years ago, and they are like neighbors. and he's like they go out to the bars and like they sing blues together and all this stuff. Like so, it
That's
must be
so
really
fun.
fun to where they're at. Like I
Yeah.
want to just show up at like the blues bar in their area and just watch them jam.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, the original Chrissy Snow, like
Yeah.
from one episode, and then and Michael Berryman
Yeah. That would be
jamming up.
cool.
No, she
Pretty
was
cool.
in Three's Company, wasn't she?
Yeah, for one
For
episode,
whatever. Mm.
she was the original Chrissy Snow,
Oh, how
and then
fun.
yeah, and then she went on to be in The Hills Have Eyes.
Hmm.
Um,
Very, very cool.
and
Uh,
replaced by what's her-
Suzanne's.
Suzanne
Was it?
Summers.
Mm.
Yes, Suzanne Summers. But so yeah, so you don't have a date on the VOD for the,
yeah,
Dr.
not
Gift.
yet. Not yet. We're in the
in the
process,
middle
and
of the
we're
question.
Mhm.
that
Let
keeps
'em know.
kicking you out.
Yep.
No, we don't have an exact date yet. We're just kind of going through the process right now. You know, I'm not sure, I guess you don't know. Just the
Mm.
process with everything and kind of the back and forth. And sometimes with like certain streaming, you just have to tweak little things here and there. So that is what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Mhm.
But
But you do have other stuff because I notice on your IMDb, it's like a long list of a lot of stuff on there with different people. I know one I looked and we had Felissa Rose on a couple times, and
Oh,
it looked
yeah.
like
I
you work with her, and she's amazing. So
I
like,
oh my gosh. So I just worked with her on A Hard Place. And I'm
mm,
gonna say, Felissa's been in a lot of horror films, and this is my favorite role of hers. So A Hard Place, she just plays this strong, gritty character, and it was really awesome to watch her go from hi, very
mm,
humble, like very nice, sweet,
very Felicity.
into
Yeah.
straight into that grittiness and hardness of the character that she had. I loved it. I loved it. And on the same set, Lynn Laurie, uh,
Mm.
absolutely just amazing and beautiful woman.
Yes. Yeah.
and then
We've never had Lynn on, have we?
I don't
I
think
don't.
so.
I don't
Like,
think we have. But I've talked to her about coming on multiple times, and I just never. I've never. I don't think I've. I think I just never followed through with it. But I've talked to her at cons, and yeah, she's
Oh,
great.
wonderful.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and one actress I follow and been following her talking about from the beginning to now, Amanda Bryant, I think is her name, and
yeah.
it looks like
Rachel
she's
Bryant.
popping up in a lot. So
Rachel Bryant.
Rachel Bryan, that's what
Yes,
it is.
I love her to death. I'm going myself to go pick her up from the airport and bringing her home with me. I love her. So we were kind of roomies on the set of A Hard Place and worked together a lot on that film. And she's just awesome. She's just a good person through and through, hardworking, great actress. And that's why I was as soon as I got home from filming A Hard Place and we were doing casting, I was like, she's coming onto this. And another person I always bring along is Paula Solinger. She's another one of my favorite indie actresses.
Now, writing, going back to writing and stuff, you say you get all these ideas. Do you have people in mind to play the roles at that point in time, even though you have like everything's coming at different directions? Do you have, it's like, okay, I wrote this role for you type deal, or
I
is this,
so I sometimes like usually when as things are going, I'm not picturing somebody specific. Now I do write roles specifically once I have an outline of something. The roles are written specifically for people. Now Rachel's role, it was just an idea and it elaborated with Rachel's personality in mind. That I have another friend, JoJo Payne. Her role was written specifically for her personality. Whenever we were writing birthday bash, Kellen was that person. The role that I'm actually taking on in birthday bash, I wasn't going to play this role. I was going to give Abel and I actually had planned to be extras, so that we could really focus on filming this, but it just didn't pan out that way. So I will have a major role in this film as well as directing.
Yeah, it's always crazy to just see like the same person's name on every part of the IMDb thing. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay, they did like a little bit of everything, and
Oh, they
it,
were a glutton for punishment. Yeah.
it's like, can you doing it? I guess you've done it a while. You said you did it right from the beginning. Is it easy for you to like pull yourself out of each part and do all
On my
three
own
things?
set, yes.
Mm,
I can do that. I can pull myself every which way because I'm so used to it. But where I do find it hard because I do everything is being on someone else's set.
mm,
Like, because I do so many things, like being on somebody else's set as an actress just makes me feel like I'm not doing anything.
mm,
Not that it's not a lot. I'm not I'm not talking
mm.
down to, like, if you're just acting, that's awesome. But for me, like, I feel like, well, I need to do, like, could give me something to do. So it was like almost like a mini vacation, just to be an actress.
Mm. Do you find yourself like sitting behind things and like, I would do it this way, or I would
Yes,
do it?
1,000%. There's no way you can't do it. Anybody that says they don't do that is a liar.
Mm,
You might not say it out loud of
mm,
what do you like. You obviously aren't going to sit there and go next to the director and be like, "Well, actually, what I would do." You
mm,
can say, "Oh man, you would be cool." You can say it to yourself and like your friend or something, but that's your creative mind. I don't. I see a creative different way, but the one thing I do notice at least about myself is that I never think, oh, he needs to do it this way because it's not my vision. I'm just saying, oh, this would be cool because that's my vision. But yeah, that I do find it hard to not want to do more when I'm on somebody else's set.
makes sense, especially if you're so ingrained to do it all the time. It's just like,
Mhm.
okay, like sometimes it's hard to like pull
Oh yeah,
back on
I
things.
feel like I'm like at work and not doing anything. Like I'm about to get like it feels like I'm about to get written up at work or something because I'm just still sleeping on the job or something. And then just if they get behind or a problem arises, like I'm the first thing that I'm thinking of is how do we fix this? And that's what I kind of have to change on because it's not a we, it's not my film. I'm just
Mm,
there to act when I hear action. So that I've gotten to figure that out these past couple of films that I got to do.
yes. Now, as a director, are you open to like ad lib and stuff like that? Do you let
Yes.
your okay? Because
Yeah.
we've heard, I sometimes let it, but I like my vision type deal. So it's good to hear like it's well, I'm sure
There.
there's.
Still the same
Yeah.
vision, I would I
Mm,
would I would think. But
Yeah.
as long as the end place is the same and it all works.
Right. Like
Mhm.
I say the script is an overview and a palette of what what needs to happen. But what's in a script doesn't always like make sense in the moment,
mm,
or it doesn't flow right, or it just doesn't match the personality that's coming out of that actor. And so I'm very much of let's change this. I mean, the script changes, so you definitely have to be willing to roll the punches and stuff. Which is going to be we can't roll with Eric's too much because he does the cue cards and stuff. So we've already got them all made for him. So everybody else is going to have to
mm.
just make it work.
They're gonna have to deal with it. They're working with Eric Roberts, right? So they have to deal with it. Am I cutting up?
No, I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah,
Oh yeah, she's cutting up. Um, it's actually just about time to wrap up. We have like 10 minutes left, so I want to make sure that we get her social medias in if we're able to. Um, can you say
Yeah.
something? Your audio is cutting up a bit.
I, well, okay.
mm,
So I guess my phone is enough of me talking.
another shot.
Yeah, it's like sounds like it's underwater.
A little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the audio is cutting up a bit. Let's Tony, why don't you want to give it another shot, Jennifer?
Maybe if you pop in and pop back out.
Yeah. Can you jump out and jump back in? While she's doing that, if you want to let people know where they can find you, Tony.
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related. You'll find me there. Tony Has Nine Fingers on X, which I don't use, but I still say it. Tony Has Nine Fingers on TikTok, which is my fastest growing and the one you'll find me on the most. Still trying to hit that 30,000 follower mark by Thursday, which is going to be tough, but, you know, throw the grind or whatever you want to call it. That's definitely not what I was.
Grind? Is that a word?
No, it's not a phrase or a word or whatever. I just
Ow.
do it out there. But follow me there, and of course here on the Wicked Horror Show, whether we have awesome guests or it's just horror movie talk, you'll find us here most Tuesdays. Yes.
So yeah, I think you might be better. Maybe
It was for 2 seconds and then it stopped.
it's still better than it was. So yeah, where can people follow you?
Jennifer Michelle Stone on Instagram. It's the same on Facebook, Jennifer Stone. That's literally my ad on Instagram. If you go to my Instagram at Jennifer Michelle Stone, you'll find all my other links. Write my bio, then that's where you'll also be able to find my links to the other streaming movies that I have and the Indiegos and everything. You'll be able to see.
Perfect. All right. Well, and for myself, just a knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing the show with Tony, I'm also part of that Strange Show. And like I said at the beginning, we're part of the Dorkening Podcast Network as well as Dead of Winter Entertainment. Make sure you check out the Indiegogo and the links so that way you can go support Birthday Bash, and also go check out our guests' socials so you can see when the other movie. What's the other movie called again?
So Dr. Gift, Dr. Gift, and then Midnight Devils and Strix is also out on streaming.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I looked, especially like cover arts and stuff. I just look at them and I'm like, these look so awesome. And then, of course, I click into it and then realize that the cast is like amazing too, which just adds to my wanting to see the movies. So,
well, yeah, let me know. Check them out and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I do reviews on my TikTok. So definitely it'll
Awesome.
be, you know.
My TikTok was stolen, so hopefully mine will get back soon.
And
Tony, imagine if that happened to you. You're so close to 30,000 followers. Imagine if it got stolen from you. I'm not saying I wish it because I don't.
well, at one point in time, I remember like growing up in the like going up in the numbers, and I hit like 5,000, and I'm like, oh man, this is great. And then I got kicked off, and they banned the whole thing for nothing. I was live one time because the only thing I do is I show off my collection, and they're like, oh, you have hate speech. I'm like, what did I talked about the Goonies or something, and then I got banned,
crazy.
and then I had to
They
fight
the
it.
craziest things.
But I'll have a lot of time because May 1st actually is my birthday, so you start feeling.
Birthday bash is starting just for you.
Exactly. You see, people, thank you. You're welcome because it was actually
special things to Tony.
It was actually written for me by me. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah,
but
Kellen's playing you.
I'll have a lot of time for the week through the weekend to watch a whole bunch of stuff. So
awesome! I'm excited.
Happy birthday, Tony.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
14 again this year?
Yeah, like 15. Of course, it's funny when
it's over.
You all laughed very loudly because my internet
There
whatever.
was an earthquake and it knocked your internet out
It
just
did.
Oh
because of
yeah, all the laughter.
all the laughter. It kind of
Yes, that's what it was.
the sound
Anyway,
wave.
anyways, well, thanks again for coming on,
Thanks for
Jennifer. It
having
was a
me.
pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing your movies. And good luck with Eric Roberts. I'm sure everything
Thank
will go
you.
swimmingly. And have a brunch on me. I don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. It's ending. 1 sec.